Hello and welcome to another episode of Eat, Smoke, Drink. Today I am going to review something a bit unusual. I haven't reviewed one yet, and to be completely frank, when I've had it in the past, the distillery bottlings, usually non-age statements as well, I haven't really liked it. Okay, so I thought it was a little bit average. It was interesting, but not really something that I would gravitate towards, and so that's why I haven't reviewed any yet. But recently, Adelphi released quite a premium bottling of a 21-year-old Isle of Jura bottling. You can see, I mean, it is almost pitch black, so one guess what kind of cask that is. I would, hazard a guess. It's either PX or first fill sherry. Isle of Jura is a very old whiskey. Some of their whiskies are put into blends, and it goes into the White Mackay company. But a lot of their distilled spirits actually go into their own bottling. So that in itself, there is a huge following of Jura whiskey lovers out in the world there. I'm personally, was not one of them. But when I saw that Adelphi released a 21-year-old, I thought to myself, it's something I have to try because, it'll be interesting. Anyway, I'm using today the blender's glass because it is quite a premium whiskey. I'm going to use this, and then I will then maybe put some water in it and see how it goes. But for the meantime, I'm just going to use a blender's glass. Oh, wow. There is a distinct smokiness and savouriness to that. There's an extreme earthiness to that as well. Whoa! Very unusual straight away from the start. Just from the get-go, it's very unusual. There is a distinct herbal note to this whiskey. Very distinct. And it's exceptionally medicinal as well. It is actually exceptionally unusual on the nose. I would even stick my neck out to say it is probably one of the more unusual whiskies I have ever smelt. It's fatty. It smells very oily and fatty. When I say fatty, I'm talking pork fat, a bit of beef fat. I'm getting black pepper. I'm getting a yeasty component. Cereal notes. It is very earthy. The nose is very strange on the nose. I mean, there's a strange bitter cherry smell in the back of the nose. But it is exceptionally herbal. It is exceptionally savoury. It is exceptionally earthy. It is just plain bizarre. I'm getting what you would call very steely in flavour, like in the nose, very steely, metallic. I mean, this is just a flavour bomb in the nose. It's just a flavour bomb, full of flavour, full of complexity on the nose. I mean, I can just keep sniffing it, and every time I sniff it, there's something that comes out. Now I'm getting hot stones, and you put some water on the stones. A little bit funky, a little bit black peppery, spicy. I mean, the nose is just uber complex. I don't know yet, and I'm quite excited to taste it because I've never had an independent bottled Jura before, let alone a Jura that I actually liked. So I'm quite looking forward to tasting it. The nose, I'm not going to tell you if I like the nose yet. All I'm saying is it's complex, it's interesting, it's strange and weird, but I don't know if I like the nose. It is kind of that left field. As it breathes a little bit more, I'm getting a bit of licorice in there. Definitely aniseed, definitely cloves. It is just a complete flavour bomb. It's just mind-blowingly flavour bomby. Is that even a word? Probably. Okay, let's give it a sip. Ooh. That is very strange. That is very weird. It's like, it's very meaty, slightly bitter, burnt sugar, burnt tobacco, and dry tobacco at the same time. It's got a bit of a red cedar smell to it, like a humidor, cigar humidor. But it's very savoury. Yeah, very a distinct burnt sugar taste. That is a strange beast. And it's got distinct yeastiness to it. The finish is definitely quite long. It's fatty. The mouthfeel is relatively light, which is strange, but yet the finish is quite long. So that the mouthfeel is not a chewy, heavy mouthfeel. Well, it is, but comparing to the nose, the mouthfeel is not something that you'd go, wow, that's just chewy as hell. It's not at all. I mean, it's a 54.2%, so by all means, it's not too high of ABV, but it's not low either. It's definitely a lot higher than your normal distillery bottlings. Definitely herbal. Definitely licorice on steroids. A distinct salinity. That's what I'm getting now. Distinct salinity. On the second sip, it becomes more chewy. It progresses. But very, very saline. Very, very saline. I mean, more saline than most Islas I've ever had. It is a bizarre thing. It tastes a little bit like, I don't even know how to explain it, like Bovril. A little bit like Bovril, that kind of sharp saltiness, that umami savouriness. There's not as much iodine in it, more so meaty, more so steely and metallic, herbal, the aniseeds there, the cloves there, a bit of cinnamon, black peppers there. It's fatty, like, I wouldn't say, yeah, I'd probably say like salami fatty, but also just like a pork fat, like a rendered pork fat. There's not a whole lot of sweetness going on. There is a sweetness hit in the beginning, but the savouriness and salinity just completely overpowers the sweetness. This is a fucking bizarre whiskey right here. This is real bizarre. I'll be completely honest with you. This is really bizarre. And so I'm going to put a little bit of water just to see how it changes, because I'm quite curious. And I'm liking the focused nosing of this glass, because it is such a complex whiskey. It needs that. It definitely needs that. So let's just give it a good mix. Alright, with water the nose becomes a lot sweeter. The burnt sugar, the burnt caramel definitely subsides a bit more. It becomes sweeter. The meatiness subsides a little bit. I'm getting more root beer, definitely root beer. The herbal is still there, if not, the herbal is just as strong. I'm getting a little bit more rosemary now, as well as the other spice, aniseed, cloves, licorice. The nose actually, I can't tell you if it improves with the water. It's different, but it is still very complex. The nose is very oily. Let's taste it with water. Okay, with water, it makes the flavour quite integrated. The character's gone. No water. I vote no water straight away right now. What made it interesting has become slightly generic with water. What made it interesting with water tamed it down dramatically. All I'm tasting now is a heavy, syrupy sweetness with water. So I would recommend no water for this. Look, would I buy this again? You know what? I think I would. It is not a whiskey that you would sit there and finish all night, or maybe you would if you really liked it. It's quite. I think it'll be quite a polarizing whiskey because it is bizarre. Just bizarre through and through. The nose, to taste, to finish, it's just bizarre. A lot of the components of it doesn't seem to mix with each other, yet it's there, you know, so it's really weird. I think it is a winner because from an experiential point of view, you don't get olive Juras like this. Any olive Jura I've had in the past has been homogenized, generic stuff that's kind of boring as hell. This is definitely a talking point. If you're going to have this whiskey, have it first of the night. It's a talking point whiskey for sure. And the price is a little bit up there for a 21-year-old. Well, actually, for a 21-year-old, it's actually not that bad. It's probably going to set you back about $300, $350 US. But in saying that, hell, you can't put a price on that kind of experience. I'm all for it. I think you should buy it, but beware, it is going to polarize the shit out of you. Okay? It's going to polarize you. Thank you for joining me today, and until then, make sure you eat, smoke, drink. Cheers.